It is now 8:30 and good Thursday morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. And this morning we are on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page again as we introduce you to candidates in several of the local races. We started that out this week. On Monday we had a U.S. Senate candidate. On Tuesday, had a candidate for District 6 on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners. Yesterday, we had a candidate for District 4 on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners. And all of those programs are available on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page, as well as the newstalk1330.com website. This morning, we continue a conversation with one of the four candidates running for District 6 in Carroll County for the Board of Commissioners. This guest is, I think a lot of you might recognize her name. She's a former commissioner for District 2. We'll talk about her decision to seek election for District 6 and how she ended up in District 6 when she was in District 2. We'll get through all that stuff. My guest this morning is Vicki Anderson, a new grandma.
Yes.
Yes, congratulations on that.
Thank you. I'm Glammy.
Glammy?
Yes.
What's the kid's name?
Cameron.
And she's a beautiful kid.
She's adorable.
Yeah, you can see, again, your daughter. I mean, I think a lot of people joke at that. She's a shorter person, but in that belly, that baby was always going to be gigantic.
That's
7 foot
right.
tall. But she's still 6-7 pounds when she was born. A beautiful girl.
Thank
you guys are all very very very
Thank
fortunate.
you. She's vertically challenged.
Yeah, and she's proud of it too. If you look at her
Yes.
Facebook page, she's on there. She's got lots of jokes about that. Yeah. But let's talk about you, Vicki
Yes.
Anderson, former District 2 commissioner.
Yes.
And you stepped down, just said, all right, things done, time to get to somebody else, move on, left it in good hands. Clint Chance is in that seat now, but you decided to give it another shot when somebody you had worked with for several years, George Chambers,
Yes.
decided not to seek re-election for District 6. So tell us about that decision and trying to come back.
Well, when I stepped away, good morning. When I stepped away in 2018, I decided that, I thought that I'd been there for 12 years and it was time for some new blood and change. And so that's when, Clint stepped in and I relocated, looked for some acreage, hopefully built my forever home and the wonderful District 6 out there. So here I am, worked with George for many, many years, found out he wasn't running, and wanted to represent my area. I just got something about wanting to help people.
Would you have run against George?
No.
If you didn't step down? Because you're close to the top of that district, and it's a new district. It's been reshaped after the census, so it's a little different than what it's always been. And I've said on the shows this week that I always think of that District 6 being Bowden, but it goes up into Carrollton pretty well. I mean, north of Carrollton even.
It is the largest geographic district of all the districts, and it goes all the way to part of Center Point, all the way to I-20 and up to Bremen. We have a few people. I remember we've always had a few people in Bremen, I-20 to Alabama, and then you're going down toward Heard County. So, it's big.
I imagine when you're campaigning, one of the jobs is going to be letting people know they are in District 6 now for some people and reminded them because it closed in a little bit and traveled north. Do you know offhand the boundaries for that, or some good points so people can at least get an idea? Even though we do encourage them to go to the elections office and check it out.
Right. Well, Center Point, there's a division in Center Point now. Half of the road goes to District 2, and then District 3.
District 3, right?
Two is Villarica, District 3, and then there's it goes to Kansas, Mount Zion, and Bowden. As far as those are the your voting precincts things.
Vicki Anderson, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program, one of four candidates running for county commissioner to represent District 6. What is unique about District 6? What's unique about it, and what are some of the opportunities that District 6 presents? Things that you'd be working with, things that people talk about in that district a lot.
Well, there's a lot of things I need to learn about District 6, and for people to learn about me. But it's very diverse. I mean, you go from one end to the other. People want to maintain the rural character, and when I'm out here living with acreage now and sitting back there on the back porch, and I love it. And it's like you don't want anybody in your backyard, and but if you don't own the land back there, you get to sweating. It's like if you don't own it, somebody can come back there and get it. But just the diversity in the people, the culture from farming, agriculture. I think everybody wants smart growth. Put it where we have infrastructure or where we need it, and so. That's what I think that most of the people, and to be a strong advocate for people. It's like Mount Zion. Mount Zion's out there. Mount Zion is almost the same size as Bowden is, but they're kind of forgotten out there, and so.
If they're that close in population, but as far as just look at the downtown Bowden is significantly different than downtown Mount Zion. And we think
about Bowden, it is. I think with the new census, it was like 2,100 people in a 2 to 3 mile diameter radius, and many of those people are getting to be 65 and older. And you know what happens when you get to be 65?
I have no idea yet.
You don't have to pay school. You don't have to pay school tax. Yeah. So there's all kinds of things that are impacted, and you know what? They're 51%. Carroll County, 51% female. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Actually, I think is it 51.49 or something like that. I remember
51.3.
3. Yeah, it was close.
I think with the new census.
When you said what happens when you're 65, Steve's in there pressing the buttons. He turned around because he's almost 65. So I was like, it can't be something good. Since
That's right.
Turned around.
But it impacts your schools.
Sure. Right.
So anyway,
I think you're the only candidate with previous experience, government.
That's correct.
Experience. Has your political philosophy changed in the last 4 years from, when you were on board for 12 years and then away from 4 years? I mean, do you see it different now, like what the responsibility is maybe of government?
You watch what goes on in the world, and with everyone. I think when you get to run for a position and you're there, you learn that you are one of 7 votes. And I think when moving to District 6, from being in Fairfield and moving there, you learn how to appreciate our rural culture that we have. You want to maintain that, but also, so as far as your question on how it's changed,
it may not at all.
Well, I think I care a lot, and I think when you elect a commissioner from any district, everybody needs to be looking at it, because you are electing a person to go on a board that you want to represent. They're going to be voting on things for the entire county. So I realize now that how important that is. So I hope the people of District 6 will let me be a part of that, but also I hope the other people and the entire citizens of Carroll County will want me to be there also to represent them.
You're one of 7 members on the Board of Commissioners. What would they look to you for as far as for your expertise? What issues, what problems, what things would they be saying? All right, well, we need to ask Vicki that. Vicki needs to give us a little bit of guidance. What would that thing be?
Well, everything as a new commissioner or whatever is on the job training. So I've been there for 12 years. The one thing I do have a conference room named after me, because I was the first female in 120 years or whatever to be a commissioner. So I'm proud of that. Mm-hmm. But I learned a lot during that time, and I think that experience is what I bring to the table. And I'm excited that I can be. I also realize that you need an advocate, you need a strong voice, and I've always been a strong voice, and I think I have a reputation. Colin. But it's honesty, integrity, and if I tell you there's a horse in the barn, you bring your saddle. Okay.
I will say this. I mean, with Bill Chappell, I remember, Bill Chappell. He, the way he kind of, oversaw the commission is different than other people do it, and he was pretty confident in his beliefs. But and I just first started working here when you were there. I mean, you would ask Bill questions. I mean, it would frustrate the heck out of him. I know he's just like, hey, just trust me, I've done this. But you were going through that. You go through the paperwork, you do the research, and I think that's your reputation.
Yes.
As you did.
And I know that drives some people crazy. But I even called the chairman. I called Michelle before I decided to run, and said, what do you think about me? Possibly running for this position. You think we can work together and work? And she said, sure, no problem. So here I am.
Before we take our break right now, it's 8:40. Before we take our first break, what have you been doing the last 4 years, if you don't mind?
Well, I'm a registered nurse. I work for Tanner. I've been remote since March of 20. I review medical records in my basement of my new house, and it's just great. So that's what I've been doing. I am a new grandmother, and just thrilled with that. And I'd like to tell you something after a while about public safety. So about how it's so personal to me.
We'll do that. We'll lead into that during our next segment. Time right now is 8:41. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3.
As a graduate of Oak Mountain Academy, I've found that my experience on the mountain prepared me beyond all expectations. As a junior at Auburn University, I approached my studies with great confidence thanks to what I learned at OMA. When I think back on my time on the mountain, I think of my teachers. Their genuine love and concern for me as a student was always evident, and now, as an adult, I still foster those relationships. I'm Carly Robinson, an Oak Mountain Academy alum. Visit oakmountain.us to see how you can offer your child an amazing opportunity to be a warrior.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
8:42, and welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice Program, News Talk 1330, FM 106.3. If I didn't tell you already, my name's Colin, and I'm hosting the show this morning. My guest is Vicki Anderson. She is one of 4 candidates running for County Commission to represent District 6. The other candidates, Kenneth Huddleston, Danny Bailey, and Debbie Neal. Kenneth was on the program Tuesday. Danny will be on the program Monday, and Debbie will be on the show next Thursday. So you can compare all the candidates, how well they did on this program. Go back and watch those over and over and over again. Again, our guest this morning is Vicki Anderson, seeking that seat. Former representative for District 2, if the name sounds familiar. What's one part of government, what one department that you could see yourself spending a lot of time focusing on helping, or one that you see needs help now?
Well, public safety has always been close to my heart. Every employee, I think, is valuable in the county and around, but public safety has been particularly close to my heart in the past year because of my son-in-law and daughter-in-law are both in public safety. And the shooting that took place, my son-in-law, Jameson, was very directly involved in that. And my daughter was the 911 caller that was on the phone with the police officer from Villa Rica during the whole time. So I understand how important it is. I understand how it feels. So that's one area that I have supported always in the 12 years that I was there and will continue to support.
When it comes to budget cuts, if the chairman said, hey, we got to cut some stuff out of the budget, is that the one department where you say, well, we can't cut out from public safety at all?
The mission of the county commission is public safety, and to make the citizens there to make our citizens safe. And when you think about when the cop comes up to your car when you're speeding, and it's like, you're like, your heart's going crazy, but you can imagine theirs also.
Oh, yeah. What is, tell me something good about Carroll County. What's the best thing about Carroll County right now?
Ooh, besides the chickens and the beef and things like that. People here really value their being rural, but not being considered, we want to be rural, but it's open, it's airy. We don't want to be a big city, but we want to have some growth. We want to have some restaurants and things like that. I love the tranquility of it. I love that people know when you go to the dry cleaner or to a restaurant or to a bank or something, they know you. You can do business with people like that. There's so much I love about it.
If you were still, as the District 2 Commissioner, this would have been a big issue for you right now. If you were still the Commissioner, the Tax Allocation District proposal, which is going on in Villa Rica right now, they need Carroll County to, well, I don't know. I keep saying they need, but I guess I can't say for sure they need it. But they're asking Carroll County Board of Commissioners and the Carroll County School Board to sign an intergovernmental agreement with them, which, in order to pay for infrastructure into this property, Carroll County would have to allow any new taxes in this tax allocation district to go towards infrastructure until it's all paid off. And it's getting later in the day to where at the point they probably need to know, is the Carroll County School Board or Carroll County Board of Commissioners going to sign on to this and accept that? Are you aware of that proposal, the tax allocation district, how that works and what they're asking of the school board?
I've heard it. I've read the article in the newspaper. But I heard you mention also Monday, you talked about 50 years.
Well, it says up to 50 years. They have 50 years to do it. It's not going to take 50 years to do it, but it still has the opportunity. I mean, if something happened, it could go 50 years. Yeah.
I think that we need to work with our cities to develop them to be whatever that we can do to help and improve the whole infrastructure and that kind of thing. So I just need to know the details and whatever that we can sit down and work with it. This will probably be completed before we are elected to the board.
I expect it to happen in the next couple of months, but maybe another city may want to do something like that. Carrollton may want to do something like that in the future.
Right.
I'm trying to think of anything else that's really going on as far as decisions within the board. The rock quarry issue, did you pay attention to that last year?
I heard it. Not being from there, you really don't pay attention to a lot of things if it's not in your area.
Well, say there's something like, the people owned the property at the time that they announced they were going to build this rock quarry. They had the right under zoning. They were allowed to build the rock quarry. But then some people spoke up and weren't happy about it, so they changed it before I think they actually applied for the permitting and things that they needed. So that, and they're in court right now dealing with that. What's your responsibility as a commissioner if there's something proposed in your district that you think your constituents may not be happy with being built there? What's your responsibility to that business, to that property owner, and then your responsibility to your constituents? How do you work that out?
Well, it's you look at it from you try to put yourself in each of the positions. You think if it's my land, I can do whatever I want to with it, or if it's that type situation. I'm telling you, you just have to. You represent the people in your district and the county, but you have to look at it from an overall, sometimes I've had to choose that to not have a road paved in my district because it was needed more somewhere else. But I had to go back and explain to people in my district that, look, this is what happened. We have to make, because the roads were torn up in this place, and so the money had to go there first. So I think it's a matter of everybody working together, realizing what's best for everybody. And you do have rules and you have regulations, and I don't know if that answered.
Well, I mean, it's a thought process. I mean, yeah, I don't know if you could answer it totally one way or another, but to work around the thought process is what I was looking for. You talked about roads. Before we do take our break, I mean, I imagine in District 4, there's probably property owners that don't want their roads paved, as opposed to maybe District 2, where the roads are, all of them being used and you have to pave just for the safety of drivers getting here and there. But, property owners who don't want their roads paved in, or even close, even if just one or two people use it. I mean, do we need to pave those roads? Do all those roads need to be paved? Anything that people are traveling on?
No. People don't want them. You said District 4, I believe, but I think you were talking about District 6.
I know
sorry. You're getting a little older, but yes, it was District 6. And there's people all over the county. There's school buses that go and in places that you try to make it where they can turn, but there's people that don't want their road paved, and
because they don't want the traffic out there,
right?
Yeah.
And there's guidelines. If there's a road that's not paved, people have to agree and that kind of thing. So.
All right. Before we do take this break, when you're applying for a job, will you have time to to do what it takes to fill this job? Because I'm sure people call you, people want to talk. You got to go to all these meetings. Can you commit yourself to being able to do this as far as timing? And how much time do you expect you put into being a commissioner?
Yes, I have you have the time because it's you have set. It's like you have a schedule of when meetings are and work sessions and things like that. But people do call you a lot, and you want them to call you, and but it's not something that takes. Not going somewhere and having a commitment of 4 hours other than the meeting staff. So it's totally doable for me working full time remote. So
if we call at 6:30 and say, hey, I got a problem over here, you're not going to hit end and send it to voicemail.
That's right. But I might call you at 10:30 p.m. and see how that feels.
I will be out like a light. Time right now is 8:52. Take our final break here. Come back and continue our conversation with Vicki Anderson, one of 4 candidates running for District 6, representative on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3.
Oak Mountain Academy has offered a challenging college preparatory education for 60 years. With over 500 graduates, we have maintained a 100% college acceptance rate. Over 90% of our students earn acceptance to their first choice of college or university, and over the past 5 years, our students have earned over $10 million in scholarship offers. Our students are creating a legacy. Come, be a part of our family and create your own legacy today. To learn more, visit us at oakmountain.us.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
All right, 8:54. Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com and on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. And I'm Colin Worthington, wrapping up our conversation with one of 4 candidates running for the District 6 seat on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners, and her name is Vicki Anderson, Vicki Johnson Anderson. Looking back on your time, it's been a whole 4 years, but the 12 years previous that you were on the board, what are some of the things you're most proud to have been associated with, that you worked with, that you accomplished?
Well, you remember when we had the flood, that was disastrous, for 2009 or something like that. I think, we worked with everybody to really get those roads paved, bridges redone, and those kind of things. We have a new courthouse. I was a part of that. Villarica's amphitheater, a couple of the ladies there, Barbara and of course, I just go blank on her name, Valerie. They had an idea and a vision or a dream, and so the county partnered with them, and they got their amphitheater. So it's just working with everybody and realizing that you're just part of a group, and you're all here for the same thing, and everybody loves Carroll County. They do. It's like they really do.
As we wrap up the program here, you're gonna have you talked to potential constituents yet? Have you knocked on doors and met people at this point?
Not a lot of knocking on doors. I was trying to get information. It's like your Facebook page. For that, you now have to wait 7 days to make sure. I guess you're not Russian or something if it says anything about voting or campaigns.
And that hasn't been confirmed yet that you're not Russian.
That's right.
Okay.
That should be any moment now. I just got my big signs yesterday, and you have to get things printed. So I just got my business card. So it'll be hitting the streets, and there's no way. I'm sure there's plenty of people that don't want me coming up to their door, and some of the this is a large district, and so I will be calling or be out there and meeting as many as I can, and I want them to call me, So I'll
find that Facebook page, and they can ask questions there, and you'll follow up with them.
Yes.
So, when you do finally get to go knock on doors and things, what's going to be your spiel for a minute and 30 seconds?
It's like, hi, I'm Vicki Anderson. I would like to be your commissioner. I'd like to be your voice, representing you on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners. I have experience of being there for 12 years, and I think that I could be an advocate for you and support the ideals, and ask them, what their ideals are. I mean, what do they need? What do they want in their area?
Are you going to bring your granddaughter? I think that'll be helpful.
Well, she'll be in a stroller.
Yeah. You can bring her
Sometimes she will be, and it might say "Vote Vicki."
League of Women Voters, or anybody reach out as far as any potential debates coming up?
No, not yet. I don't know.
Yeah. They typically do, I guess, at this point. So
sure.
We'll put the burden on them to make that happen. All right. Anything else you want to make sure that we know before we end this morning's program?
Experience. I think I have the experience to go out there and really work for District 6. It's being a huge district, being diverse, and I am known for my honesty, integrity, and my strong voice to stand up for you and fight for you.
And we encourage you, if you're not sure what district you live in, or if you have any kind of doubt at this point, you probably should go check that out. You should check it out anyway, because they did change a little bit, and you never know. You might be in District 6, you might be in District 3, you might be in District 2, but you may want to check it out at the Carroll County Elections Office, because they did change this year. You want to be sure who your candidates are, your potential representatives. So again, Vicki, good to see you again. It's only been 4 years.
Yes.
But yeah, having the pandemic didn't help with that.
Oh, I know. And I haven't seen a lot of people.
Yep.
So.
Well, everybody saw you today
on
the News Talk 1330 Facebook page.
I appreciate it.
I want to remind you again, this week we kind of started our interviews with these candidates for a lot of these local races. Had a U.S. Senate candidate on Monday, had Kenneth Huddleston, who is also seeking a seat on the District 6 County Commission. He was on the program Tuesday. Yesterday, Will Godby. He's challenging the incumbent for District 4. And, of course, today we had Vicki Anderson. Monday, hope you tune in for that program. Danny Bailey will be on the show. He's a candidate for District 6. Karen Handel's going to be on the program Tuesday. She's not running for anything. She's the president of the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce. And then next Thursday, tune in for Debbie Neal, the fourth and final candidate running for District 6. She'll be on the program. So hope you'll tune in for all of those shows next week. Whew. Time right now is 8:59. Stay tuned for national news, followed by your local news here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3.